Hello everyone. Good day. Welcome to Omega channel. Alright, so please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel so that other people will have access to the video and they will be blessed. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about buying on margin. Okay, the last time we looked at short sales. Today we are looking at buying on margin. So short sales and buying on margin are just specialized transactions, right, that happen in the financial market. Then they are different from what the normal buying and selling that goes on in the continuous market. So this one is kind of specialized, so they have their own treatment. Last week we looked at short sales, okay, and then today I'm going to look at buying on margin. Now with buying on margin, we have two instances, okay. The first instance is where the first instance, okay, let me explain it this way. So what is buying on margin? Okay. So it's basically a type of specialized transaction, right? Where an investor, right, goes to his or a broker, tells the broker that broker, I want to buy this amount of shares. So from the name buying, so it's about purchasing case. So like short sales is about selling. That's its own. So whenever you have a situation where you need to either a short sale or buying on margin, you're focusing on short sale. Try to bridge or take out the idea of buying on margin from your mind and focus on what short sales deals in. When you're working on buying on margin, don't try to factor in short sales, or else you're going to conflict yourself and confuse yourself. Okay, so basically, know that they are opposite specialized transactions, right? They have different way of dealing with them. Okay, but if you try to apply short sales in buying on margin or the vice versa, you're going to conflict yourself and confuse yourself. Okay, so know that they are though they are both specialized transactions, they all have their own different treatment. Okay, so as I was saying earlier, buying on margin is just instructing your broker, right, or telling your broker to lend you some amount of money that you can add up to yours, right, to be able to buy a particular number of stocks at a particular set time. Then your expectation is that prices will rise in the future so that you sell, right, and make profit. Then you can pay back your broker. So that's buying on margin, okay? Where short sales is you borrowing shares and selling, right? With the hope that prices will fall. Then you buy back and give the borrower his shares. Now with buying on margin, like the name goes buying, you want to buy, let's say 10,000 shares. When you check your savings, you check your money, you don't have that amount, that value of 10,000. Okay, but you need help. You want to buy that because you have maybe a third eye, you've made your analysis, and you know that maybe in the future prices will rise. Okay. So if you buy shares at 1 cedi and prices rise to 2 cedi and you sell, you definitely make profit. Okay. So if you have that knowledge or that prediction that maybe prices are going to fall, so you want to buy these amounts of shares at this point, right, today, so that when it rises, you will be able to sell and gain. I don't have that enough capital, right? You go to your broker to lend you money to be able to buy the shares. You buy shares not with stocks, you buy shares with money. So you buy shares with money. Then your broker will lend you money. And when your broker lends you money, it becomes a loan to you. It is not yours, it's a liability to you. Okay. And you're able to buy those stocks. You want to buy the stocks become your assets, become yours. Okay, so let's say in a normal accounting transaction, when you receive money from your broker, right? So you receive 5,000 from your broker, right? It becomes a liability to you. Okay. And then it becomes a liability to you. Then that liability becomes, how should I put it, a capital to you. Okay. You know that normal transactions, when you credit, you, yes, how should I put it? It becomes a liability in the sense that you'll be receiving the money, right? And then you use that money to So that money doesn't belong to you. So you are owing or you have an obligation to pay back. When you get the money there, that's when you're able to buy your assets, you buy whatever you want, right? And then that asset, those things that you buy become your assets, right? And then your equity become the capital that you brought. Okay. You brought some amount of money to add up. That becomes your equity. You get it. And then that equity, like that's using it to do something, to expose out again. Like your equity gives your assets. I always want, but then let's forget that. Yeah, so that's basically just kind of like an account that go deep, 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 deep. Okay. But just know that when you buy the stocks, they become the assets. Okay. So that's basically, and you have two instances where the broker will charge you interest and commission, and a place where the broker will not charge you any commission or interest. So today we're treating the buying on margin where the broker charges no interest and commission. Another time when I get an opportunity, I'll do one where the broker charges interest, right? And then commission. Because all these come into play. It's like buying on margin is kind of how it has a leverage factor because you are borrowing from someone, okay? And in this type of transaction, you can magnify your gain when prices rise. And when prices fall, your losses can also magnify. Why? Because when prices fall, you are making losses, okay? But then you still have to pay your broker the loan. The broker doesn't care whether you make profit or loss. You came for the loan with your own predictions and you said you pay back. So whether you make profit or loss, you need to pay back what the broker. So final margin is risky, but it has advantages. If your predictions are right, why not? You make the big profit. But if it is wrong, you make the what? The bigger losses. Okay. So I'll share my screen and then we'll get right straight to some of the questions. I'll just be touching on a few, okay, we don't do everything. Some of them are just basic mathematics knowledge, okay. So yeah, that's basically it. So please don't forget to like the video, share, subscribe, okay, so that you can help other people to be able to get access to the video, okay. Also encourage you, like put something in the chat, in the how should I put this, in the comment section, right? Your opinion, your idea is, was it okay, was it good, and all that. That's basically it. So, so this is the question. All right. So the question is, suppose Angelo Boache, right, initially pays 8,000 from a savings towards the purchase of 10,000 worth of stocks. So Angelo wanted to buy stocks. Now that that is worth 10,000. That's the total value of the stock, $10,000. But then he pays $10,000. Okay. So here there's no explicit information on how he was able to buy the total amount, right? The total shares is 8,000. But you should know that if he was able to buy 10,000 shares, I have 8,000. It means he went for a loan of 2,000. Okay, so it's not straightforward here. All right, yeah. And then, as I said earlier, to differentiate between um short sale and buying on margin, right? Usually in short sales, the investor is bearish, but then in buying on margin, the investor is bullish as he has expectation that prices are going to rise. But then in the short sales, he's bearish because he has expectation that prices are falling or fall in the near future. Okay, so don't be confused with that. Yeah, so the first thing was construct the initial balance sheet. So as I said, when you are dealing with buying and margin, don't try to picture in or factor in short sales. See it as a different transaction, right? Different, it has its own dealings, it has its own way of what navigating it. Okay, right? So construct initial balance sheet. Let's see how we go about it. So as I said the last time, we have assets, right? We are using the horizontal format. We have the assets, then we have the liabilities, and equity. All right, so as I was saying, what becomes your asset in the buying and market? So you brought money 8,000, okay, but then you don't say that I brought 8,000, so the 8,000 is mine, will be my asset. No, it's capital you brought, okay, so that will become your equity and not your assets. You get it? How should I put it? So like owner's capital. I don't know. But then yes, the capital you brought to buy your shares, and then it can change based on the changes in the value of price. And you know that on the stock market, prices are not stable. Okay? Prices are not stable, so they can change at every point in time. So that's what makes it risky and volatile to get it. So we know that Angelo White, he brought equity of 8,000 Ghana. So he brought equity, that's his own savings, right? So if you try to understand the double entry and all that, it will be a whole lot. Okay, so just know that if he's bringing money to add up to his capital, right, it becomes how should I put it? So sorry, um, minutes. Okay, so it becomes um okay, so it becomes a capital. I want to get understand of the whole double entry and all that. It's almost start from here. Okay, so just know that the money you brought to contribute as capital, as your equity, that was 8,000. So don't forget to bring your dollar sign and all that. And here, I'm not going to do that too, so that we'll be able to go fast. Okay, and then they said that the value of the shares was worth what? The shares was worth 10,000, right? So value of shares was 10,000, right? So it means that we need to balance the equation, as we all know, right? Assets must be equal to equity plus liability, right? So we know that our asset side would be 10,000, and then to balance the equation it means that there was a loan because you can't buy shares without having the full money. Okay. So you'll be the loan from the broker because it's buying on margin. That is what makes it distinct. There is no buying on margin if there is no borrowing from the broker. If the investor himself finances the buying of the shares, there is no buying on margin. But so far as he didn't buy everything with his own money, right? Then means that he went for a loan. Okay, yeah, so our loan will be what 2,000 because 10,000 minus 8,000 is 2,000. So we have 2,000. So now both sides have balance. Yes, so this is our initial balance sheet. Our initial balance sheet where assets is equal to liabilities and equity. So the value of the shares becomes the assets of the investor because that is what he owns now. That is what he has now, and not the number of shares, but what the value of the shares in monetary terms. Okay, so the number of shares was 100, but then the price initially was 10. If I'm correct, let me see. the price was 100 and the value of shares was 100, so 10,000. So I said, what is the initial percentage margin? Okay, so initial percentage margin is just your equity divided by your value of shares. Okay, so as I said in the short tools, percentage margin is what equity over the value of shares. That's what portion of the value of shares was financed by equity. Get it? That's the simple way I can explain. Okay, that's basically for initial percentage margin. Let me write it here. IPM, initial percentage margin, just your equity divided by the value of your shares. So our equity is 8,000 divided by the value of our share, which is 10,000. So get right, everyone. So I think I had a network breakout, so maybe I'll join this session with the other one, right? And I'll post it. Okay, so this is where I reach. So IPM like 8,000 divided by 10,000, and we get 80%. So that's our initial percentage margin. Now let's move on to the next question. The next question says, assuming the price declines to 60, construct the new balance sheet and find a new percentage margin. What is the percentage change in price and equity? What is the return on equity? Let's take the first part. Assuming the price declines to 60, construct the new balance sheet. So if the price declines to 60, means the value of our shares will fall, right? So the value of shares will now be the 60, which is the price, times the 100, which is the number of shares, right? And then you get 6,000. We'll get 6,000 as the new value of shares. Okay. That's our assets. Then our loan remains the same. Okay, because we've already taken the loan, so it's not going to change, right? So we have our 2,000, but then our equity will change. Our equity will change. So I think here the 2,000 became 20,000, so it was a typing mistake. Okay, so it's 2,000, not 20,000. It was a typing mistake. So cancel this 10 and get our 2,000, right? For equity will change, and will be the value of the shares, which is the shares, now just asset, right? Minus liability, and you get 4,000. So now we are balancing the equation. Okay, so we'll have 6,000 at both sides. So we see that our equity has fallen from 8,000 to 4,000. Why? Because the value of the shares have produced, price has fallen. Get it? So why should it be so? Because you, the investor, you're hoping that prices will rise and be able to sell and gain. But now, if prices fall, right, and you sell, you're going to lose. You bought it at 100, okay, then you are selling it at 60, you lose 40. So obviously, your equity will fall. Okay. Then as we lower, as I've said already, percentage margin is just the equity over the value of shares. So I'm not going to redo it. So just pick your equity equity and you divide by your value of your shares. Then you're done with your percentage margin. Okay. Then the next one says, what is percentage change in price and equity? So this is basic mathematics. Percentage change in price will be the new price minus the old price divided by the old price times 100. Okay. Then the same way for equity is what the new equity minus the old equity divided by the old equity times 100. So this I'm not going to do because I have to be somewhere right now. So that's for that. And then what is the return on equity? Okay, so let me do this. Let's see. So return on equity is basically a profit. So return on equity delta as ROE is your profits over your initial equity. So I can just write equity, right? But because I'm teaching, I want to write initial equity so you don't be confused. Okay. So I'll say that since I'm on the second question, it's where I prepared this balance sheet, right? Why am I saying initial equity? So as I said earlier, this 4,000 has a factor of a profit or a loss. Okay. So the person initially brought 8,000. That is the capital the person brought. Okay. That is his capital contribution. Any other change in equity is not as a result of the person buying more shares. Okay. So the value of one share can increase not because the person bought shares, right, but because the prices have changed. Okay, so we are finding ROE. I want to know your return on your equity. I mean, the return on the money you contributed. So whether there was a profit or a loss, that one is as a result of price changes. But what you brought into the business as equity is what you use to calculate our return on equity, and not the one that comes out as a result of changes in price. You get it? That's why I put in initial equity just to make it easy to understand. So how do we find our profit? Profit is like selling price minus cost price. Okay. So our profits is selling price. How much did you sell the stocks? In case you want to sell. Okay, so this by normal you bought, right? So now you are selling. How much did you sell based on the price in the market? So the number of shares, 100. What is the current price in the market? It was 60, okay. That's your selling price minus your cost price. Not cost price like how, so how much you bought it, how much did you buy the shares, or how much did you contribute to the shares initially. Okay, so a cost is something that took money from you, the owner. Okay, so the owner had to bring 8,000 from the savings, and it's a cost. Because everything you put in a business, whether it's a profit or loss, might be able to know. So the owner bought 3,000, right? And then the owner took a loan, and it's an expense to the owner. The owner took a loan of 2,000. Okay, so in this case, we don't have interest, we don't have commission, and any other expense. Right, so we leave it here. We are resulting of we have our 6,000 minus 8,000 minus 2,000. Then we getting, so we have 6,000 minus 8,000 minus 2,000. We have negative 4,000. So negative 4,000 means you need the loss of the loss of 4,000. Okay, because when you factor in your costs or what you contributed initially, what cost you to pay, and the loan you went for, okay, you made a loss of 4,000. That's the profit. So now your return on equity, right, will be your negative 4,000 divided by initial equity, which is 8,000, right? And then you get negative 50%. So your return on equity is negative 50%. Obviously, you made a loss on the equity you bought. Okay, now let's see. So that's that for C. So let's go to D. Assuming the prices rise to 140, construct your new balance sheet. So prices rise to 140. Okay, so we'll continue our balance sheet here. So our value of shares will change because it's subjected to what the prevailing price in the market. Our value of shares will be the price, which is now 140 times the number of shares we bought, which was 100. So you see, it's not increase the number of shares, right? It's just the price that is influencing what our equity would be. Okay. So, and this will give us 14,000. So the value of our shares will be 14,000. So that will be for the assets, right? And then our loan remain the same because we've already taken the loan. We have our 2,000. And then our equity will now be the value of our shares, which is our assets minus the loan. And then we would have 12,000. The 12,000 becomes our equity. And this equity is as a result of price changes and not additional owner contribution. Okay, so yes, so we balance off, then we are done. So here to tell you to find the percentage margin, which the formula is here. So just pick your equity and then you divide by the value of your shares. Then we look at equity, right, for this aspect. So using the same, this one, profits would be the selling price, right, which is the 140 times the 100 shares minus the capital we bought, which that's what cost us. And the loan we went for because we will pay eventually. So our profit will have 14,000 minus 8,000 minus 2,000 to 14,000, 8,000. So we get 4,000. So 4,000 is our profit. So remember to bring the sign, the currency sign, that dollar, CD, euro, whatever. Okay. So we'll make a profit of 4,000. Then we can find our return on equity, right? So our ROE will be the profit over the initial equity. So we have 4,000 over 8,000. So 4,000, 8,000 gets 50%. So our return on equity is 50%. Okay, so our return on equity is 50%, unless I didn't do the calculation well, but if I did it well, then that is what it is. Okay. Okay, so that's what it is. So I think we are done with the D. Then the last one is assuming the maintenance margin is 30%. So what price should the stock price drop before the investor receives margin call? So in a buying on margin, right? Because your expectation is prices will rise, so you'll be able to sell and get profit. If your predictions don't make and prices are falling, the broker will call you. when you're making losses, you can pay. We give you a margin call, right? So that's to know that with a margin, the maintenance margin of 30%. So this one, they just use the same as percentage margin, but here they give you the margin they want. So it counts maintenance margin, okay? So use the formula, the same formula for percentage margin. So right, our maintenance margin will be equal to equity, right, divided by the value of our shares. Right. And equity, we know, is what assets minus liabilities. Okay, in this case, we're keeping it simple because we don't have interest factor and all that. So assets is the value of shares, which is the 100 shares times P, because P changes because they want us to find the price at which we get the call. You know that the value of the stock is dependent on the price, right? So the number of shares that we bought was 100, right? I don't know the price, so it will be P minus our liabilities, our loan at the moment, 2,000, divided by the value of shares, which is dependent on the price. Okay. So I think let me put a P here, 100p, right? Then our maintenance margin is 30%, which is 0.3. Then we'll do like things like we'll solve it in a normal way. So we have 0.3 times the 100p, right? Is equal to 100p minus 2,000. So we have 0.2 times 100. We have 30p is equal to 100. When you do group of like things, you have 2,000 is equal to 100p minus, you have 2,000 is equal to 70p. Then we have p is equal to 2,000 divided by 70. So we have p to be 28.57. 28.57. Okay, so that becomes happy. So we add this times and see the margin call. Okay, so that's basically it for finding your margin. It's just that is all treatment. So when you're dealing with it, think of it as finding your margin. Don't try to bring in short sales and also put in conflict your own self and conflict yourself. So that is where I'll end this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe for your channel. Okay. So let's again, it's bye for now.